Hi, everybody. Welcome. I am Michelle Solis from Thismustbeink. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Seekonk, Massachusetts. It's Friday night, January 30th, and welcome to my Stampin' Sip workshop where the weekend starts early. So tonight we are going to be making some valentines. I'm in Valentine making mode because I have a friend who is doing a Valentine sale for charity. So I'm trying to make some Valentines to give to her. I don't give a lot of Valentines out myself. I have some friends and some family that I send them to, but not a lot. So any extras that I have are going to go to her. So tonight, that's why I've been looking for some different designs where you can just pop things together quickly or make multiples at the same time. So that's where I came up with this. So I had seen this card made by someone, and then I just kind of took it from there and started trying all my punches to make this design. So I'll show you what we came up with. All right, so grab your drink, take a sip of whatever you brought. I'm just drinking water tonight. Just water for me. Okay, so we will get started if I can get this going. All right, let's get this light down here. Okay. There we go. A little more light there. Trying to line this up is difficult. There we go. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, I think we've got enough light. Okay, so these are the two that I showed as a sample. These were made with the Made with Love pack of designer series paper. Hi, Kathy. And I used two sides of the same piece of paper for this one, and that's what we're going to do again tonight. So let me show you what we need. So you're going to need a card base, two card bases. So tonight I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo. And let me just show you, when you're making multiple cards, how to cut your card base real quick. All right, so what I do when I'm making multiples, I'm going to cut this in half for two card bases. And then I'm usually score them at 4 1/4. If you do your scoring first at 4 1/4 down the entire sheet, then when you cut this in half at 5 1/2, you have two card bases ready to go. So it just cuts down on having to score more than once, and just saving any little bit of time when you're doing a bunch of cards is a good thing, I think. All right, so let me, I guess that's probably far enough. All right, so I'm going to just burnish both of those. And then let me show you. So the paper that we're using again tonight is the Made with Love. This is another sheet from that set. And the other side is just this little stripe. You can see just a little stripe there. So you want two pieces of 5 1/4, 5 1/4 by 4. And what you're going to do is layer them up. So one piece is going to be with one pattern up, and you're going to turn the other one over, and you're going to put them one on top of the other, and that's how you're going to cut them. So on this one, as in the last one that I did, these little edges or little corners were cut with the circle punch. This is a 2 3/8 inch circle punch. So what I did, I don't know if you can see, but I've got some little marks inside my circle punch. I just did with some pencil. Can you see a little mark there and a little mark there? And what I did was lined up my paper in the punch right to those lines. Now you could make a bigger area, like you could go in further if you want to. I am just going here because I want to decorate the middle with a lot of stuff. So I'm going to just punch right there. Whoop. All right, and just a tip, you are going to want to remember that this was the bottom. Then you're going to, from the bottom corner, then you're going to turn your paper and you're going to do the top corner on the opposite side. So again, we're going to just line that up. Doesn't have to be perfect. No one will notice if it's a smidge off. Okay, and those are the top ones. Okay, now this was the top I just did, so I have to turn it back around. And remember, this was the bottom and that was the top. Okay, so then I'm just going to separate these. And this one is going to go here. And this one's going to go here. And then this one is going to go here. And this one's going to go here. And there you go. You've got 2 cards with just very minimal work. So we're going to move that one out. Let's do this one first. So I'm going to just glue this down. I should have gotten a new thing of glue here. Oh, no, it's working. Last night it was giving me a hard time. Like it's almost ready to run out. Okay, so we're going to put that on the card base. And then we're just going to glue in our little pieces. You could pop these up too for some extra excitement. But for tonight, I'm just going to glue them in. And another pro tip, try and keep track of what side goes up and what side goes down. I did it upside down on one of them. I was like, well, that didn't work out as I planned. Okay, so there's one. And let's get this one. Hi, Jan. Hi, Joanne and Anna and Lynn. Hi, thanks for joining. Hopefully you guys saw the punching of the corners. If not, make a quick comment and I will show you again how I made these little like half circle-y things. Okay, so we'll get that in there and then this last piece here. Okay, so then we have our 2 cards and we just have to decorate. All right, so let me show you real quick where all these fun things came from. So many fun things. All right, so this is the Endless Love photopolymer stamp set. I haven't used the stamp set a lot except for the sentiments so far. I did stamp the little heart, did stamp that guy. But I haven't used this a lot yet. So I'm still making cards. I'll have to make some more with some of these sentiments. But I did want to show you a tip about when you get a new stamp set. So I have been having a hard time trying to figure out, hi Nancy, trying to figure out how to keep track of my stamps when I get a new stamp set in this new packaging. So this one, what I did was I inked up my stamp when they were all in one, like when they were brand new, inked them up and I stamped them on this side of the packaging. But you can see I made a mess. So it's like smeared, and I made a mess of this whole thing. So anyway, that was not going to work for me. And I don't have that kind of time either. So what I decided, Lisa Curcio showed this technique, and I think it is brilliant. So what I did was, as soon as I got this stamp set, I flipped it over, and I just took a Sharpie marker, and I just outlined all of the stamps. So that way now I have a quick, I can look at them and I know if I'm missing any, and they're going to fit back on this card the way that they should. So I thought that was brilliant. Wanted to share that with all of you because it has saved me a lot of time and heartache. Okay, so this is the stamp set, Endless Love. All right, let me just put that aside. All right, so the dies are really what sold me on this set because of all these amazing dies. This one, I think, was the what really sold me because this one makes a little tag. So let me show you the 4 hearts that it makes. So it's got this little solid heart here. So I did that in the 3 colors. And then it's got this tag one, which I really love. And I thought that that could be used all year long. So you could do that on a birthday present or a wedding gift or whatever, even on a little gift bag. That's going to be really cute. And then you've got this one that cuts out this like curlicue heart here. That's a nice little detail layered on the other ones. And then you have this big one, which is this one here. So just a note, this is confusing. This was confusing to me. This is the same heart. This picture is just showing this heart with these little cutouts. So there's another die, this one, that cuts out all these little hearts. And you can position that inside of this large one to make it look like this. They are missing on here. So this is not 2 separate dies. And they are missing on here. There's another double X cutout here. So then you get these little XOXOs. See, I've got some in different colors. Really cute because the little heart comes out of the middle there. So those are fun. And then you've got this little, the little arrows that are really cute. I love these. And then where's the other? Oh, the little tag. So then you also get this little tag, which I think is amazing. So that's this little tag. And they show it in quite a few different samples with hearts cut out of it. And that's a separate die here that just cuts that line of hearts. So all in all, I thought this was a really versatile die set to have that I'll probably keep forever because it's got every size heart you could possibly need. And it's got a tag. I love that. Okay, so those are all my pieces that I cut out that we can play with. All right, so let's work on this one. You can see on the one I made previously, I did the little tag heart and the solid heart with the, oh, I cut the XOXO out of there. I forgot about that. And then I did some little tags. So we'll do something similar. Maybe we'll use the big heart. Let's see. So I can't tell whether I like this. I might like it better on this one. All right, let's set that aside. And maybe we'll just go with this tag again. But instead of doing the XOXO cutout, let's see, maybe we can stamp something on that heart. So we don't have XO to stamp unless it's really big. That's not too big. Let's try that. All right. So I had planned this, but I hadn't really planned how to decorate this. So we're kind of just gonna wing it. This paper that I'm using is Poppy Parade. So I'm going to stamp in Poppy Parade. This paper uses, wrong stamp, uses Poppy Parade and Real Red, which I thought was kind of interesting. So we'll do that in Poppy Parade. Maybe up here, maybe that way, because I stamped on this side. And then we could layer that up with another heart in one of the colors. And we could even use multiple hearts. I've got too many things now, too many choices. That does happen to me. It's like too many choices. I think I cut these hearts out of Real Red. You can see there's a little bit of a difference. I'm going to go with this one. Maybe this one. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stick this one down just with some glue. And then this one, I'm going to pop up a little bit. Let's find some dimensionals. So I do think that it would be a really good idea to use adhesive sheets on the back of some of these pieces. And of course, I didn't think about that until I already had them all cut out. I never think about that unless I'm really making a point to. So you can see this one would have been lovely with some adhesive sheet on the back because it would have just made it a sticker and it would have been super easy to then glue down. But we'll make it work. Okay. And then we've got these really cute little arrows that I also love. Oh, I should have stuck that underneath. Well, okay, so this is what we'll do. We'll just cut them in half. Okay, so if we cut this in half, we could make this go under. I almost lost the other piece. Okay, so then you want this piece to go this way. And I've got a dimensional there. So I'm going to have to cut this really short so that it'll fit under there. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. And then just try to line it up so it looks like it's part of the same arrow there. Cute. Okay, so then I like to put something in where the little tag is. And if I don't string it through, I just put a glue dot and stick it on. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make a little ribbon bow. This ribbon is also Real Red. And I think this one is actually retired. This is a 3/8 inch ribbon, I think. But there is one really similar that's still available. That's a 1/2 inch. And I think it's shinier than this one. I'll be sad when I run out of this ribbon, though. This was really pretty ribbon. I don't use ribbon a lot, but when I do, I tend to have my favorites. Okay, so then we'll just put a glue dot. This might take your pick tool right in that hole there and just get a little bow. Okay, and then we've got some bling. I've got some rhinestone basic jewels. These guys are still available. I just put some in my cart because they're almost gone. And this is one of my go-tos because they go with everything. So there's that one. All right, let's set that aside and let's work on this one. So we're going to do this big, big heart. This heart I have seen with the little hearts cut out of it. I have also seen people stitch through these little holes with twine and ribbon, and I think that's really cute too. We're not going to take the time to do that tonight. I'm going to just lay this down flat. Hi, Courtney. All right, and then let's layer this one up. Let's use these little tags that we haven't used yet. I cut one out of the designer series paper. So it's got two sides. All right, let's see. So we could put a red one. Just put the white heart. And then some little tags. Okay, so what if we do the little tag and we put the XOXO on the tag? Okay. And then the little heart comes out when you cut it. So you can put a different color little heart in there. I think I have a silver one. I have a silver one. Let's put a little drop of glue. Let's get a silver one in there. It wanted to fight me, but I won. There we go. Okay, so there's that one. And then maybe we stamp on just a plain one. We've got hugs and kisses. That will fit on there. That seems right with the XOXOs. So again, in the Poppy Parade. So this is how I like to create. I just like to cut a bunch of stuff out. And then I have it all on my desk, and then I can just kind of mix and match and grab pieces and make it work. Maybe I need a little silver heart on here. Let's get another. All right, maybe put a little silver heart right here. And you can probably not even see that little dot of glue I just put on. Oops, put on there. There we go. All right, so I think I'm going to put these two together. Let's get some twine. There's some red and white twine. This, I think, right this second is unavailable, but it's coming back. I think this was actually might have been from Christmas, but it's still in there. And did you guys know that now when things are not in stock, you can sign up for them to send you an email when it comes back? I love that. But a lot of times I just forget that I wanted something, and then I'll go look for it and it'll be out of stock again. I'm like, oh goodness. But this way they email you when it comes back so you can grab it. All right, so I'm going to set my block on that while I tie a bow. Maybe. Oh, that was lucky. I feel lucky when I get it the first time. All right, and then I'm going to just put those down. So I'm going to stick this one down with glue. Maybe like that. And then I think I'm going to get a dimensional underneath the other one. So let's see. I'm going to take the backing off and pick up that dimensional and see if I can get it under here. Like that. And then we just have to, oh, wait. Maybe we want the arrow. That one's too small. This one? Oh, that's fun. Okay, we like it like that. Now we got to glue that together. So we need a little bit of glue here. Might have been too much glue. Okay. Well, I think we need a little bit of glue. This is making me nervous now because this is foil. I don't like glue on foil at all. Ugh. That might not have been a good idea. All right, it didn't make too much of a mess. All right, I'll turn that over and glue this down. Like that. Maybe. I might have to hold it for a second for it to adhere there. Oh, nope, doesn't want to go. Okay, we're just going to start over. Wants to argue, but I'm going to win. Just have to hold it for a second. Okay, so there are my two cards. There we go. Let's get all these other things out of the way here so I can show you some of the other ones that I made. All right, these are the ones that we did tonight. And then these are the ones that I did for the sample. So there was a bunch of valentines there. Yay. Okay, so then I took this paper. Oh, I don't remember what it was called. Oh gosh, what is this paper called? Do I have it out here? Oh, I do have it out here. That's the Hobby Haven paper. And so these punches here I made with the, what is that called? Heartfelt hexagon. So this is the heartfelt hexagon punch. It has this shape. And so I lined that up. Let me grab this hard stuff. So again, I lined this one up and you can see I made some little marks here. I have a bunch of different ones because I tried to see what size I wanted. And so again, I just lined that up with my lines and then punched that shape out on the designer series paper corners for these two cards. So it's a nice way to just make two cards at once. when you're looking to make multiples and you're in a hurry. So then I also had this modern oval punch. That's not it. This one. The modern oval punch. And that one I used to make these two. This is, I'm not going to remember this paper either, one of our floral papers, Pretty Florals, something like that. And so I just used the oval, the side of the oval going this way on my designer series paper to get those shapes. I can't say those are my favorite. I really do love the hexagon and I love the circle punch. So you decide, look and see what you've got in your punch collection and see what you can come up with. If I'm not mistaken, I have like a postage stamp punch as well. That one would be really pretty. I'll have to go see if I can find that. Okay, well, let me know what you guys think about that, how you feel about all of that, and whether or not you are gonna give it a try. All right, let's get back over here. Okay. Again, 2 minutes. All right. Okay, so that's it for me tonight, guys. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope that I'll see you back here next week. If you did enjoy hanging out and making cards with me tonight, make sure that you go to my YouTube channel and click on notify or click on the like button so that you will get a notification anytime that I am live. But I'm always here on Friday night, most of the time. And I will see you again next week. I don't know what next week will be. What will next week be? All right, you guys know. Next Friday, 7 p.m. All right, so that's it for me tonight. Everybody take care, have a great weekend, and hopefully nobody's getting too much more snow. Fingers crossed. Night, everybody. Stay crafty, my friends.